is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
Where can you drive the new 2025 Acura Integra for only $289 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Where can you drive the new 2025 Acura RDX for only $399 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, InterMiamiCF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Where can you drive a new Acura ZDX for only $439 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
South Florida, listen carefully. Osmani Garcia with Omega Realty Group is changing the game. He's not just listing homes. He's guaranteeing to sell yours in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it himself. No excuses, no delays, no fine print games. This is real. If you're serious about selling, call 305-440-1990 and see if your home qualifies. Osmani Garcia delivers results. Osmani Garcia, the home of the 30-day sale guaranteed, where guarantees are backed by action. Call now, don't wait. This market won't wait for you. Restrictions apply. Call 305-440-1990.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Depends on where you're at in the world watching. Depends on when you're watching. Depends because it's on demand a lot too. So all there for you. Appreciate you all out there for tuning in. We are, of course, at Hialeah Park, where we are every Thursday afternoon, home of the great Brunetti family that does a fabulous job out here for decades, by the way. Been coming here since I was a kid, dude. I'm 58, and I remember having like lunch with my dad here as a young teen. Beautiful, beautiful. Anyway, so place is an institution, and if you ever visit in town, you should come. Smoke-free casino, second floor poker room is where we broadcast from every Thursday. The great Steve Calabro will come by. Today, Franco Panizzo will be joining us. So he'll join us at the top of the hour. We'll talk about the choking bastard's name, InterMiami. How about that, man? That is awesome. Outside of South Florida, he might be known as a world-class player, but here in South Florida, he's known as a world-class choker. So it's an interesting dynamic for Messi. So we'll have some fun with that. Last night, man, that was fun with the Panthers. That was a lot of fun. And one of the reasons, and one of the things that I love about what I do and hate about what I do is that you never make everybody happy, right? Like I was telling some guy on Twitter or I forgot where it was. It might have been Blue Sky or something. I don't know. And the guy was like, "Oh, you're so negative about the Dolphins." And I go, "Dude, I was positive about what I thought they could do in the last couple of years, but I've given up. What do you want me to tell you? I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel." You know what I mean? But it's like, okay, now you see me with the Panthers, right? Last couple of weeks, people were panicking. Oh, the Panthers, this, that, whatever. They're concerned. Even the game they lost to Tampa in the regular season, some people looked at that as, whatever. I had a hateful Steve. He was calling me while like on the ledge of buildings and bridges here in South Florida. But we walked him off the ledge many times. And we told you guys, hey, bro, you got to stick with these guys. This is the real deal. And there we go. But don't worry about it. You can call me a hater soon enough because I'll tell you something that I don't like. But this is something that I do love, and this is something that I do believe in a big-time way. They've earned that. They've earned that. And for the people that thought, oh, the forearm shiver by Ekblad, that wasn't cool. No, that was the right thing to do. That was the right thing to do. Tampa didn't really completely cross the line yesterday that much. It was kind of a tame game, right? At the end when it was just over for them and they kind of realized wow, we're their bitch. And we were, throwing an empty netter and everything on their ass. Obviously that second to last goal, was it Verhaeghe? No, it wasn't Verhaeghe. It was Reinhardt. It was Reinhardt. And when he gets that and he makes it a 2-goal game, it's over. And that really stuck it. That was a drill right into them, And so, yeah, the frustrations, but it wasn't nearly as physical as, and I think it's because you sent the message. Don't screw around. Don't screw around. And in this sport, we've lived it. It was the Panthers that always took all the hits. And I would be pissed that they were such wussies. And I'm glad that they defended their ice. And the beauty is, dude, they beat Tampa without Ekblad in the first 2 games to go up 2-0. So having Ekblad suspended, guess what? What did I tell you when Ekblad got suspended for 20 games? I said, yay. Ekblad's a very injury-prone player. He didn't have to play because they don't even need him. That's how deep the Panthers are. I mean, you want Ekblad on your team, but they're so good, they can win a game without Kachuk, or they can win a game without Barkov, or they can win a game or 2 or 3 without Ekblad. They can miss a guy and overcome. Any of their stars, they can miss one of those guys and overcome because they're that good. A guy like Ekblad, they're deep enough now. And, whoa, wow. Back in like 4, 5, 6 years ago, you lose Ekblad, and it was like, oh, shit, we're done. We're done. You know? It was the year before we got the dude with the beard when Gudis when the GM got here and he brought Gudis in and we started to toughen up. The year before that, at any time, if you lost Ekblad, oh my God, it was a devastating loss. Now it's not. Yeah, you lose a good player, but this team is deep, bro. There are guys that are inactive in every game that are way better than some of the Panther players we used to have on this team. Okay? So I'm good, man. That's why I feel so confident. And, you know, it's big 3 confident. I told you this already. This is Kane's 80s, 90 confidence. This is the 70s Dolphins confidence. This is what this is right now. It's the same kind of confidence. And it's a beautiful thing that we have right now. And ride it, enjoy it, embrace it, because they don't make teams like this. They just don't make teams like this. It was the 70s the last time the Dolphins possessed this kind of character on both sides of the ball. The 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, they've never been the Panthers. The 70s, they were. They could kick your ass on offense. They could kick your ass on defense. They can beat you down. And that's what these guys do. They wear you down, and they have skill. They are relentless, man. And they own Tampa. I told you they own Tampa. That last regular season game showed me how mentally weak at this point Tampa was to Florida. They knew deep down inside they needed it so bad for their fragile ego. They had to like kill themselves to just beat the Panthers down in that final regular season game when the Panthers didn't even give a shit about that game. Because the Panthers are at another level, dude. They're at another plateau. They're so good. Now, this is what I want you to do, okay? Hopefully they win the cup again this year. And then they come back and they're going to do the same thing. And what are they going to do, kids, on the final quarter of the season? Excuse me? What? Did you say Lupe Fiasco? That's a thing on our show. They're going to kick, push, and coast. Because that's what they did this year. That's what they did last year. When we thought, oh, no, they're on a tear 2 years ago for the President's Cup again. And they were like, nah. This is a calm, cool, and intensive and focused group. They don't overlook an opponent. They don't overlook a moment. They defend their guys. They play relentless. They are clutch. They are fearless, tough as nails. They don't lack a characteristic. They don't lack a characteristic. Not one, dude. Whatever you want to put in the pot that says, okay, let's put it here, let's mix it all up, and this will get you a championship, whatever it is, the Panthers have it. I don't know what it is. If you're talking about a boxer, they got to be like the Panthers. Talk about a basketball team, they got to be like the Panthers. They got to be sold out completely, play on offense, play on defense, the same intensity. I mean, the other night when they killed that 5-minute major, holy shit, dude. Wow. Wow. Wow and wow and wow and wow again. You know, it was just awesome to watch. Truly awesome to watch. By the way, there's the QR code for Hialeah Park. You got the playoffs going on in the NBA, even though the Heat aren't in it. You got the NHL playoffs going in, which, of course, you expected our Panthers to be in it. You got all kinds of stuff going on. You got the baseball, going on right now. You can bet games every night right there. Use that QR code. Sign up. If you already have a Hard Rock account, don't use the same phone number or email. That way you can get the $100. So you go, you make your first bet, you get your $100. You are off to the races, and good luck to you. All right? Hope you win. So there you go. As always, use the QR code. Steve Calabro will join us at sometime in the second hour, so we'll have a little fun. They just gave away $50,000 of Bitcoin, which they gave it on Saturday, correct? Correct. Saturday, right? So we're at 96.7. So Saturday, what day was Saturday? The 26th? Well, today is the 1st. So 30, 29, 28, 27. Okay? Okay. Okay. 27. So let's say it was what, 2 a.m.? 94,121 at 3 a.m. on the 27th. Okay? And it's at 97,000 now. So it's already up 3,000 for that person. I don't know. I mean, they may not be the brightest bulb in the chandelier, and they may just want to cash it out and get a descending asset, which makes sense. By the way, we are trying to go to España. Yo soy Vasco. Alzuaray. That's my last name, which is Spaniard. And the Dolphins are planning to play in Spain. And, reportedly, or rumoredly, not reportedly, even though it was the mayor of Madrid that let out the cat out of the bag. The Dolphins supposedly are going to play the Bengals, and it'll be November 16. Now, none of that has been finalized. Nobody has said it, so we can't do anything. But we are trying to go to Spain. And there's the QR code. So Sean and I can go to Spain, do the game, cover the game, do our pre- and post-game show from there, do shows during the week. And if there's any Dolphin breaking news, we'll give it to you straight from Madrid. So use the QR code, make any kind of donation you can. We'd appreciate it. Now, by the way, first of all, I want to thank Ray Martinez, great man. He gave us today a very generous donation, and we thank you. Thank you, Ray, very much. We've gotten several donations away from the GoFundMe page that we have here. That's the QR code for the GoFundMe page. And so a lot of you have, I don't know if you're not comfortable with the GoFundMe or something, you've Venmo'd me or Cash App, say, hey, this is for the trip. So I appreciate those. I mean, Ho Yoon does it every Monday. He sends a very generous donation every single Monday. You know what I'm saying? So, and he says for the trip. So I appreciate it. However it is that you send the donation, because I got to say the majority of it has not gone through the GoFundMe page. I almost feel like I shouldn't have done the GoFundMe and I should have just said, whatever. But, we do have a first goal that we're trying to reach on the GoFundMe. So go fund us and help us get to Spain and cover what probably is the only sexy game. And there's not, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be a good season. I think we're going to deal with a lot of disappointment, unfortunately. But you never know, man. some crazy shit can happen. And if it does, then we'll enjoy the ride. We're Dolphin fans, but I got to be honest. I don't see a ton of light at the end of the tunnel right now with that coach. But if you can help us, we'd appreciate it immensely. Whatever donation you can make, we thank you, because it is not cheap to go out there for the week. What else do we have going on? Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. The amazing Alan Blanco. If your company, corporation, school, entity, whatever, you need custom printing and embroidery, if you need shirts or hats or uniforms, whatever it is you need, please reach out to Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. Panthers over the Lightning. As we said, 6-3. They win the series 4-1. Barkov, Bennett, Verhaeghe with goals. Lundell, who we talked about yesterday, had a goal and 2 assists. Listerine had a goal and 3 assists. And Reinhardt had a goal and assist. And Marchand had 2 assists in the game. Bob had 26 saves. They now await the winner of the Toronto-Ottawa game. We are going for Ottawa tonight. Okay? So whatever it is, you got some, I'm in Hialeah, right? Maybe some brujeria. We got to make sure that Ottawa wins. Okay? All right? I'm just saying. We need it so that way they even the series 3-3. It is in Ottawa tonight. So that we it kind of sets up. Not that home ice means much, but maybe, And we're going for a Kachuk. So just think about it that way. We're rooting for a Kachuk for now. Okay? We'll hate the little brother later. But there's a time and a place for everything. Actually, we don't even know if we'll play a little brother because in Game 7, I really don't care who wins. Okay? I really don't actually want the little brother to advance because our guys pound people, and I feel bad for the little brother. Anyway, we await. Inter Miami does what they do best. Messi is right up there with Vinny Testaverde as one of the greatest chokers in South Florida history, and they just choked beautifully last night, 3-1 to Vancouver, who again looked younger and more athletic and faster, and they got eliminated from the CONCACAF Cup. And so far, this country club has produced absolutely nothing. Saturday, by the way, they take on Red Bulls of New York, and that'll be at Chase Stadium at 7:30. I would imagine the top guys aren't going to play much because they just played last night. So we'll see. Saturday, beyond Bankcard Field at 7:30, the Fort Lauderdale United will host Brooklyn FC. And Sunday, Miami FC will visit Monterey Bay FC, also in USL action. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Let's see what we got here. Jonathan Cago, Jamie Zorria in San Jose. Please hit that like button. Get the algorithms going. Por favor. Gus 1388. Too Extreme. One-Eyed Jack. If you didn't buy the dip yesterday, you're already in profit. Oh yeah, if you bought the dip yesterday, you're already in profit. Bitcoin breaking 97 today. I don't know, One-Eyed Jack at this point, whoever doubts Bitcoin is foolish. You know what I mean? I used to get all these people, oh, Bitcoin's a scam. And it's like, no, dude, the dollar's the scam, bro. All fiat currency is a scam. You work for somebody that prints your money. The hell is that? Like you work so hard for money that just devalues 10% every year? Wow, your 4% money market account is really paying off for itself when they devalue the currency on average 10% a year. So at this point, the problem is One-Eyed Jack, the people that don't understand Bitcoin don't understand money. And they don't really know what's going on. They just hear general headlines, but the media doesn't tell you. They don't fill you in. Example. Let me give you a great example. Okay. You know, they're telling you they're agreeing to new trade agreements, right, with certain countries, right? Oh, we're close with South Korea. Did you hear that one? They're close with South Korea. Did you hear about that one? Did I tell you already about this? So I might have told you off the air. Just so you know. They don't, media's weak here. The trade between the U.S. and South Korea for the last 20 years, we've been at 0% tariffs on practically everything. 99.9% of everything. Why do you need to redo the deal? So, you're redoing a deal that was actually approved by Congress, which, by the way, by the Constitution, all the tariffs and everything have to be approved by Congress. So everything that he's doing by executive order will have to be redone 4 years from now through the proper channels because there's a checks and balances here. That's kind of how it works. So these trade agreements, the one that was in place with South Korea, it goes through any administration. It doesn't matter because it's an agreement with the country. This is an agreement with the administration, not with the government, because the other branches are not involved, the House and the Senate. So they're going to have to redo it all. Eventually, this will all be taken to court and all challenged, but it's just like they don't fill you in on anything. They don't tell you anything. You know what I'm saying? It's just like kind of silly. But whatever, man. It is what it is. So that's the problem, One-Eye Jack, that we have a weak media that doesn't really inform people what's really going on and what all the facts are and all that. They just look for the things that are like shining objects to, get your attention and divide, for both sides. That's what they do, So it's a shame, but that's kind of the way it goes. But eventually, if people figure out everything that's going on with our money and how bad it is on both sides, doesn't matter who's in office, then they'll learn. Once you learn Bitcoin, you don't care about red or blue. You don't care about elephants and donkeys. You don't care about Dems and progressives. You don't care about Republicans and conservatives. You won't care about any of that. Once you learn Bitcoin and learn what's going on with our dollar, the politics get completely eliminated. And you see through all the BS from both sides. It's a beautiful thing. But you got to get to that point. And that's our problem. And we don't have enough people explaining how bad it is. So they go by, little things here or there. Let's see what else. Cosa Nostra is in the house. Messi and friends, where's your hardware? Nothing, bro. They're great at choking. Dead Streak. First time listening live. Thank you, sir. That's very nice of you. Please hit the like button. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see. Ganaron las Panteras de Florida. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, Randy. Embarrassing and pathetic game by Inter. Star players don't step up in big moments, and we have Mike McDaniel like. No, dude, that's their buddy. That's, did you see Panizzo's tweet today? It's we're gonna have him on at 4, but I just retweeted it because it just deserved to get retweeted and mentioned, because Franco Panizzo, who covers Inter Miami and does an excellent job, is not afraid to call the bullshit. Let's see if I can find it now. Here it is. Javier Mascherano, Leo Messi's friend, is coach. Guillermo Hoyas, Leo Messi's football godfather, is sporting director. Suarez, Busquets, Alba, Leo Messi's friends, and are all well-paid teammates in a salary cap league. The entire project is centered around Leo Messi. And because you've made it a country club, and this is, again, last night, I think you need a campana in that game. I don't know, man. I see some of the players that have gone, and you got to have. Remember the first year of the Big Three? They had to count like on guys like Mike Bibby and shit like that, right? And then it got better, right? Once you got Battier, once you got Ray Allen, and you started getting some guys around them. Birdman, I don't think, was there the first year, I believe. Second year, all those different kinds of players that you added that you've got to have. Dude, you don't win if you don't have James Posey and Udonis Haslam and all those kind of other guys on other teams. You got to have complementary players around your stars. They can't just do all the work. And I think that I think Inter Miami has traded some of those guys. Some of those guys that are young and could really help them out in different ways. And the new coach has put Calendar in the shithole. So they're 2-4-2 now in their last 8. Okay. Not good. Not good. So we'll talk to Franco Panizo about it at the top of the hour. Big Johnson, what's up with you, sir? Think Blue Dodgers enjoying the sweep. And he says, good morning, Fins Nation. Checking in from L.A., stoned as hell. Said it in another way, but, you know. Let's see. Man, the Panthers ain't playing around. Wish the Heat and Dolphins had 1% of their toughness. Yeah, not even close, right? Afternoon to you, Brian. Randy Gonzalez says, you know what's scary? This Panthers team might be better than last year's team. I think he's right. So you want the Lamborghini, or do you want Greer? See what I'm saying? I kind of like I like this guy Greer a lot, dude. And this Nate Schmidt guy they just added. He had 3 goals in this series. First 2 games, the guy had 3 goals. It's they get guys that contribute all over, top to bottom. That thing is loaded, dude. They are loaded. Loaded. Hileto says, people like you don't deserve a platform. I don't think you understand how football works. Why? Are you a mess? Messi already has the most goal in club history. He's played there for a month. That doesn't mean anything, bro. What has he won? Doesn't mean anything. Scoring a bunch of goals means nothing. If the league is so easy, you can't lose to Atlanta in the first round, bro. And you can't get eliminated by CONCACAF. You can't have the best record in the league. Dude, I get it. You're a little butthurt bitch. It's all good, man. I get it. Whatever. Dude, this is a novelty team. This is a team that's built for our Argentine community to go reminisce and watch Messi. But when it comes to the MLS, they're not winning shit. They're a bunch of chokers. They got smoked by Atlanta last year, the worst team in the playoffs, after having the best record in the league. That's choking at its finest. That's the Dolphins taking on the Patriots in '86. Okay? That's what that is. Not that you're old enough or knowledgeable enough to, make those comparisons, because, of course, you are thinking internationally. Bro, I don't give a shit what he's done internationally. None of that means squat to me. That's your problem. You're hanging on, or you're Argentine, and you're hanging on to what he's done for you. I'm looking for what he's done for me as a South Floridian. And all I've seen is Vinny Testaverde. By the way, Vinny Testaverde threw for a lot of yards also, bro. And a lot of touchdowns. He even had a linebacker, and he actually went like this to a linebacker and put his hand on a guy's head and threw right over him and completed like a 30-yard bomb. A play that I rarely have ever seen in the NFL, college, because he was a physical freak, like Messi. But the problem is, Bubba, they brought him here to win. He ain't won shit. So you can make excuses for his ass because of Barcelona. I'm a Barcelona guy. PSG or Argentina, whatever fan you are of. God bless you, bro. But compartmentalize, baby. When it comes to South Florida, we don't give a shit about what he did. I'm a Barcelona guy. Okay, Barcelona and Arsenal are my teams. So I do know how it works. But he was brought here to win in this shitty league, remember? Because, Leto, you're one of those idiots that says, oh, the MLS, it's a shitty league. Well, I mean, it's so shitty. Messi can only score goals in the regular season, but when push comes to shove in tournaments like this one, CONCACAF, he folded, and he folded against Atlanta, and he's got a loaded team. He's got his buddies there with him. He's got his buddy as a head coach, his buddy as the front office guy. He's got everything, bro. They had the best record in the history of the league last year. So, guess who's better at coaching? This is why the Moss family, God bless them, they spend money, but they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They just know how to write a check. Oh, let me go get Messi, Busquets. That takes no skill. That takes no skill. Neville is a way better coach than all these guys. Yeah. Number 2, Portland in the West. And he don't have Messi, and he don't have Busquets, and he don't have Alba, High Leto, or whatever the hell that name of yours is. So, bro, you can tune in, you can tune out, you can subscribe, you can unsubscribe, you can dislike. Dude, I don't give a shit, bro. If you haven't learned that yet, I'm going to tell you like it is. And you know what I'll tell you like it is? Messi in South Florida sports history is a choking ass overpaid dog. And those are the facts. Sorry. Merino teams, choking ass dogs, and they put up a bunch of points. But it was a wussy ass team that all you got to do is punch them in the mouth, and they folded like a little bitch and went into a corner. That was the Dolphins, and they put up a lot of points. Vinny Testaverde put up a lot of touchdowns, threw 9 interceptions in the 2 biggest games of his life, the Sugar Bowl and the Fiesta. So scoring a bunch of goals only matters when it matters. Scoring a bunch of points, goals, whatever it is, when it's just regular time, that doesn't mean anything. Tyler Hero scored a lot of points in the regular season. What happened when it mattered? Bam Adebayo, what's his average? 17, 18 points, 16 points a game? What did he do when it mattered? That's all I measure you by, man. I measure you by when it matters. And all I know is when it matters, Messi and his buddies fold like little bitches. And the guy just won the World Cup. He's 2 years removed from the World Cup. Like some idiot yesterday who was also butthurt like you. Oh, Messi's old. Bro, he's a year and a half removed from winning the World Cup. And being the best player on the pitch, by the way. Okay? So, he wins in international leagues. He wins in international tournaments. But, sorry-ass American League with a loaded team, he doesn't win anything. So, I'm sorry if your little butt-hurt, parrilla-eating Argentine ass is mad at it. But, hey, bro, sorry. As a South Florida history, he is a choker of all chokers. He is giving Vinny Testaverde a run for his money. Okay? I mean, it's impressive. I never thought anybody would challenge Vinny Testaverde. Vinny Testaverde is the biggest choker I have ever seen in my life. I've never seen anybody with more talent be so small in the biggest moments of his life. Wow, what a choking ass dog that guy is. Well, Messi's got everything he wants and money, and he doesn't win shit, dude. So go ahead. What do you got?
No, I was going to say another one of his comments down further. He says, once he leaves, you guys will go back to irrelevance. Apparently, he's never been to the stadium or watched TV when Messi's not playing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's – I don't care about fluff, dude. I don't care about fluff. Scoring a bunch of goals. Score when they count, bro. Like last night. Like last week in Vancouver. When you look old and slow, and they did it again to him last night. They ran right by. There was one play where they ran right up to him and they bumped him and said, "Oye, Mohong, I'm taking the ball from you." How'd you like that one? You speak Spanish, buddy? Huh? Oye, Mohong, get out of my way. Did you watch the game? Mohong, get out of my way. You didn't waste your time? You knew it, huh?
I watched the Panthers game and I left on a high.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
good.
that's true. That's true. By the way, I only watched the soccer game on intermissions. That's it. And then I think when it ended, I could go back to the finish of it or something like that.
I mean, I was getting updates, so I knew that there was nothing
Right,
really
yeah,
happening
yeah,
good,
yeah,
but I was like, I'm not even.
Yeah, no, I had it like on the pad on the side, but I would hit it on the big screen and flip it over only on intermissions, and I would watch for those 20 minutes or whatever, because of course I'm not going to invest. I saw you already in Vancouver the week before. I kind of knew what I was getting, and sure enough. So, you can be butthurt about it, Mohong. But hey, man, what can I tell you? Yes, that's it. La parrilla. They're gonna enjoy that parrilla. And a little aguardiente, even though it's not really what you're known for, but knock yourselves out, buddy. All I know is South Florida, when we talk about all-time chokers, okay? Dolphins in general are all-time chokers. But I gotta go with the Marino teams. The Super Bowl and the New England Patriots and the Buffalo Bills of the 90s. I mean, we're talking about some choking ass teams. Soft and chokers. So then we got to go with the 2000 Heat team because LeBron was a little bitch with JJ Barea. That guy like posted him up. I mean, that was choking city, USA. What else do we put there with Messi? Messi and Testaverde. Let's go with Marino Dolphins teams in general because I don't know. The New England one really is tough. Like at least the Buffalo ones in the early 90s, it's explainable. They're way better, So, okay, you're going to be their bitch. It's kind of understandable. The San Francisco one, we found out that Miami didn't belong anywhere on the field, but the New England one, they were way better. So that one, we got to go there. We got to go Testaverde, of course, with the Canes. All right. Who else? We got to go with 2010 Miami Heat. Who else is like king size choking that they should have won but lost? That's what it means. It means a team that is loaded that should have won but lost. Okay. No, no, not Mike McDaniel. I would actually put the Philbin team with Tannehill that needed that one win to get into. That's a choking moment. You only needed one win against two bad teams because the Bills and the Jets that year.
You only needed one win in 3 games at the end of the season to be a better placement. They
last year. Yeah, last year. Yes. Yeah.
And then they have to play in Kansas City.
But there they weren't that good, so you can understand why they lose.
Things like that.
But that Tannehill year, those teams were clearly better than the Jets and the Bills. It wasn't the Bills of now, and you should have beat them, and you didn't. And it was like super disappointing. So, but that's to a lower level because I don't put them where Inter is right now, where the 86 Canes were, where the 2010 Heat were. Those are monster like choke jobs. Those are choke jobs of like record proportions. I mean, ultimate choke jobs. So crazy stuff. Big O, where in Miami Sports Bible is Leo Messi lets us down? He's pretty low. Big O, great point on what happened to Calendar. I thought he was hurt. No, they've sacked him, as they like to say there. They've just kept his ass on the bench and do nothing.
He's saying the right things though, because they put out an M review with him when he's like, "Yeah, it's taking me a little longer to come off injury," and it's like, you played in a game. Like, you're not injured anymore. You're saying the right things, but it's like
he getting paid. He got his contract, so he can't complain. But so it is what it is. Ocala Joe. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
I find funny, too, is that a lot of people are like, oh, they need to build up the team around. They got rid of everybody that was to build up around them because they're paying these guys so much money. Right. They're selling off all the stuff that has value. how you build up.
And Chris Henderson.
Yeah, and also if
you keep Chris Henderson and Neville and let them actually run the team,
yeah,
you would be much better.
Maybe important.
But you have a family that is willing to spend, but it's just they're a little overzealous. And so we work for them, so we've seen it in action how decisions are made on a whim and they change from one direction to another, and there's misinformation and you just don't know what's coming out. Wow, it sounds very familiar with something else that's going on. I don't know what that is. Wow, it just reminds me of another situation. Anyway, so it's just things like that. It just so they got a checkbook and they're super rich, but bro, it's like a fantasy team, and it's a country club, is what that is. There's no real culture there, put it that way, and it's a real thing, culture, because the Panthers have it. It's when culture is when people respect the job and when they sell out for each other. When there is a true bond, that's what culture is. I think sometimes people misdiagnose, don't define the word culture. Culture goes with your relationship, your husband and your wife, or husband, wife, depending on how you live your life. But you both must have the same belief in each other, the same determination, the same love, the same support, because you're all going to suffer through highs and lows. And who's going to be there better than anybody than your family, your loved ones? That's culture. That's what that's about. Same thing. When a workplace has a good vibe and everybody's, understanding their jobs and they have great communication from top to bottom, and, you develop great culture and people sacrifice for each other and those kind of things. That's the culture. And that's what the Panthers have. They have a culture. They brought in Marchand, who is hated by everyone and hated by this team. And he still is kind of like, there. And now he is involved into the culture because he gets it now. He sees it. He goes, "Oh, these guys sell out." And we see it. They play defense as hard as they play offense, which that's not the way it was for the Panthers for many, many years. We had guys that could score. We could name guys that could score. Could we name guys that could stop the damn puck? No. Could you name superstars that could actually throw their bodies around to stop the puck too? No. But you got them now. Culture. The culture is in place that nobody is above anyone else. That's culture. Yeah, everybody knows Barkov and Kachuk, and everybody knows who Marchand is. Everybody knows who Bob is. They know their stature, but none of them carry their stature around as a credit, as weight, as leverage. No, that's checked at the door. That's culture. It's about everybody getting to the same goal. It's not about, hey, I'm about my brand. I'm about my check. I'm about, oh, wait, you're not paying me, NIL money enough. No, I'm going to hold out all of a sudden here. The Tennessee kid. That's because your culture is not in place and it's all just about money. And so if you could get the guys that can sell themselves out, you got it. Remember, you can make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation and Chainlink and Solana. Nobody's made that yet on Venmo, but you can make that. You can make Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, and Chainlink, which I'm invested in all four. Steve, Hateful Steve is in the house. He says, I'm off the ledge and here to contribute to the Spain fund because you were right. Thank you, Hateful Steve. You're a stud. I appreciate you as always, my friend. And thank you for always being supportive all the damn way through. So it's big, bro. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. What else? Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, and we always appreciate that. Thank you all out there. Let's see. Brian Radke on Cash App. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Thanks for the platform. Thank you for the amazing support. It was great to meet you, sir. In California, I think is where we met. And Southern California, I believe is where we met. I said, you and your wife, right? I think it was. So good stuff, Brian. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Very kind. Big O, this is officially the Panthers era. They are on the verge of getting to the Stanley Cup Finals for the third time and possibly repeating as champs. Yes, sir. Like I said, this is your Miami Dolphins 70s moment. This is your Miami Hurricanes 80s to early 90s moment. This is your Miami Heat 2010s moment, big three. It only happens once, dude. It only happens once. It doesn't come back. That 70s team, it's 50 years ago. It's half a century. Doesn't come back. Okay? Just doesn't come back. Those kind of moments don't come back. The Canes, that's never coming back. You're never going to have 4 championships in 8 years, right? 83 to 91, right? You're never going to have that again. Never. Those of us like myself that have been so blessed to witness that, that's what you're witnessing right now. There's no doubt about that. So this happens once. This doesn't happen again. And the history just tells you, okay? Nova Southeastern basketball. This happens once. They've won 2 national titles. I don't know how much more Mr. Crutchfield can do, but if he wins another one, it ain't going to happen again. It happens one time. One time you get on that roll, and it's magic and it's beauty. You know, sometimes there might be luck and you might get it a second time. And, you know, Lakers have had a couple of those runs. You know what I'm saying? So that's happened. The Kobe years, the Magic years, and then the earlier years too. So you've had some eras of Laker basketball where you've had success. Okay, but more often than not, it's just one time the Edmonton Oilers got on a roll with some guy named Gretzky, and it never happened again. It never happened. Did Edmonton go off and win a bunch of championships lately?
Not that I remember.
Okay. All right, I'm just checking. Just checking. So enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. It happens one time. And this is our time right now. He is right. But it's our time, and it's really, really special. Because it's not just our time. It's an all-timer for any franchise. Yes, sir.
You brought up the Lakers.
Yes, sir.
The
eliminated Lakers.
There was a great tweet last night. One of the greatest tweets ever, I believe, from In-N-Out Burgers. The Lakers were in and out of the playoffs. That's all they put.
I like that. They also put out a phenomenal stat. Okay. I don't know. In and out. And I retweeted it. They put out an amazing stat that will blow you away. But I did it a couple days ago, so now I've got to kind of like go through my replies, and it's not a short list, unfortunately, because I tweet a lot, probably too much. It's probably what I do. But they took out an amazing stat. I want to read it to you guys because I think in today's world, it's super impressive. And I think a lot of you out there should know about this because it could affect some of you out there in a very nice way. Okay? I'm just saying, it's something that I never knew about. And it blew me away. God, I hope I can find it within the next minute here because this is absolutely brutal having to find an old tweet that you're just like, and it's only a couple days ago. You know, oh, here we go. Found it. Fun fact. The average In-N-Out manager makes $180,000 annually. The average McDonald's manager makes less than $70,000 annually. We are not the same. I didn't know a manager for In-N-Out made 180 grand. That's a pretty good job, dude. And it's a pretty good burger I get to eat later on in the evening. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Again, 180 to 70. I'm not sure, but that's more than one Bitcoin. I'm sorry, that's how I do math. You know, what's it going to cost me? How much sats? I mean, that's just the way I look at it. 1,000 sats? All right. Right now, okay, that's $97. All right, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So I got to know. So there you go. How about that? 180 to 70, bro. So what you do is live on the 70, act like a Burger King manager, and buy a Bitcoin. And then you'll have $1 million in a couple years. Just saying. So line is starting to build right now to be a In-N-Out manager. By the way, if any of you become an In-N-Out manager, reach out to your homie. Wherever you're at, is if I fly in, I will visit you. You know, look out for your homie. I love it. Corso, Travin, you get a tariff and you get a tariff. You're cool, but you get a tariff. Music Trump out. Why wasn't Jaquez used in the playoffs? Dude, Jaquez hasn't been used at all. They gave up on him there down the stretch. They obviously weren't happy with his overall game, and it was enough. He doesn't bring a three-point threat to his game often, and since you have already a couple guys on the floor that aren't three-point threats, you can't keep adding more and more, and so I think his inconsistency in that sense kind of frustrated them. Question for Sean. Who's choosing his current wife or Tiffany Stratton? LOL, don't worry, have to answer this truly. Stratton's a baddie.
She is, but I'm sticking with my wife. She's been with me through the good and the bad.
All right, so speaking of that, who's the one I saw on the internet that is a big wrestling old man or whatever, and he's got a youngin that is dancing around him and all that? It is very Belichickian.
That is the wise man, Paul Heyman.
That's it. Paul Heyman.
Yes.
That's it. Yep. He's very Belichickian.
Yes. He's got a 26-year-old.
26-year-old, because he's just standing there like an old man would, and then she's doing her TikTok thing.
All he's got to do.
And, you know,
the bloodline has been good for that man.
I don't understand some of you out there. You're also like, I get it. You're worried about J-Lo and Ben, and you're worried about whatever. I see it all the time, all these couples, whether they're together or they're breaking up. Like, I don't really give a crap. But the old man, young woman thing, like, it's obvious, bro. You know, the guy wants a young piece of ass around. He doesn't want her around for conversation. A 24-year-old and a 75-year-old have nothing in common. Okay? I mean, we know what's going on. You know how many millionaires and billionaires all over the world that are late in their lives are walking around with young women all the time? It's what they do. This is nothing new. I love how people is she taking advantage of it? Probably. She's probably running circles around his ass and she's making money. And hey, dude, you want some of that? You got to pay for it.
It's a win-win situation.
Right. That's all. Who are we kidding here? There's no true love or anything. This is true ass that he's buying. That's it. That's what Paul Heyman's doing. He's buying true ass. Old fat guy that would have no shot at that if he wasn't Paul Heyman loaded, right? Because Paul Heyman's got to be loaded, like filthy loaded, because he's a legend in that sport. So that's all it is. And these women know what they're doing. They're not stupid. They're not attracted to them physically. What are they going to tell you? Oh, it's a mature man and his mind and no, that bull crap. If she has her way, she'd like to be put up against a wall and taken for 2 or 3 hours and, riding like a rodeo. But the old man ain't going to do that. She's going to have to find a 24-year-old for that. Who are we kidding here? It's like so many people try to make more out of this than what it is. This is what it is. And she's not stupid. Did you think Anna Nicole Smith was in love with the 92-year-old man? I lost some of you out there, but some of you may have some cultural reference purposes over life. This has been going on forever, dude. Okay? Leo will be doing this when he's 80. He does it now. How old is Leo DiCaprio? He's already late 40s, right? I would imagine he's late 40s. And he is with one supermodel after another. After he's 50. It's not as bad yet, I say. But Leo DiCaprio is going to be 65. He's going to be walking around with a 25-year-old. It's what he does now. He debuted with a 26-year-old 2 days ago. She's old. That's an old hag in his world. Strong feelings? Yeah, sure.
This is the headline. DiCaprio 50 debuts sudden weight loss and his 26-year-old girlfriend has strong feelings about it.
Yeah, she should. Because if he's lost weight, he's going to be attracting
24,
even more women on there. So yeah, she better have like a gun or something, dude. So yeah, I mean, I love how people are so worried about somebody else's relationship. It's like, who gives a shit, dude? And why are you dissecting something that's so obvious? That's like the whole Jalen Ramsey thing where we're trying. Well, why are they doing this? Bro, they're not doing anything. They're covering their ass because the player who they just gave a bunch of money to said, hey, you guys are a clown show and I'm getting the hell out of here. Plain and simple. I'm not playing for that fool. I'm out of here. That's all. Let's just explain what's going on. We don't need to dissect it and try to analyze and what if this or that or whatever. Get out of here, dude. It's black and white. There's no gray area here. Yes, sir.
All that is not on the internet is true.
That is true. That is true.
The lady that was dancing next to Paul Heyman.
Oh, okay.
Was a 35-year-old Chilean model.
Oh, she's old, 35.
Yeah.
That's an old bag.
Not a 22-year-old. Yeah. So
that's an old bag.
So do not believe everything
wait a
you
minute.
see on social media.
She's 30. She's 35 and doing that stupid shit.
Well, the problem is,
is she like Britney Spears' cousin or something?
You never know.
Poor Britney Spears. Oh my God. That's one person I really truly feel sorry for that needs help, and nobody can get her help because she's in charge of her own life, and you can see that it's an absolute wreck. Those kids, her kids, must be so embarrassed.
Paul Heyman is her agent.
Oh, he's her agent, huh?
Yeah, she's forged a partnership with the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Las Vegas.
Yeah, he's her agent. Yeah. I know where he parks his car. Let's see. What else do we have? Shannon Sharp said Lakers in 5, though. Yeah, no, I had Minnesota in that one. I didn't have the Lakers on that one. Skylar says Reynaldo, Messi, and LeBron all got bounced from their respective playoff tournament games yesterday. A sign of the changing of the guard. Well, Messi got bounced by Atlanta last year, which was even more embarrassing because they had the best record in the league, only to get punked in the playoffs by the worst team in the playoffs. You're correct, Big O. We meet at Smudge Pot Brewery. There you go. That's it. That's it, Brian. And thank you for coming by and supporting us every day, man. That means the world. It really does. And we will meet again, my friend. We will meet again, as I will go out to the West Coast again. Let's see. Spo punished Triple J for getting with his ex-wife. No, that's... yes.
That's already out right now.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I put it on X right now. Big O says.
Yep. Costa Nostra goes, Anna Nicole Smith had an elderly man. Did you know that, or you just learned that? Yeah, he was like 92 when she married him. Like, are you kidding me? Anna Nicole just gets naked, the man will die.
Well, he actually put Anna Nicole up there before you said.
Oh, okay.
And then you said it, and then he went, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Rest in peace. But that's another woman that had a lot of issues. And it's a shame because not that she had talent, but she was a beautiful, voluptuous woman that could have made money on that for the rest of her life. And it's sad how she had all kinds of other demons and all that kind of stuff, which happens to a lot of people, man. Sadly. Pat in Asheville says Anna Nicole Smith loved paper mache projects, and boy, did she find one. Yeah, she found one. I think the guy was. We got him in there. All right, Franco is ready to go. Let's do it. All right, let's go. Let's start off hour number 2. Let's talk about the chokers that are InterMiami with the one and only Franco Panizo, baby, right here on the Big O Radio Show.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rayom can help. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right, we're back here, hour number 2 here at Hialeah Park. And don't forget, folks, you can use our QR code, and we'll show it to you later so you can get a $100 no-regret first bet here at Hialeah Park. All right, let's talk a little bit about what happened last night with InterMiami with the one and only Franco Panizo. You could follow him on Twitter at Franco Panizo. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to Miami Total Football. He covers InterMiami and does a great job and is willing to say what's actually going on. Franco, how you doing, my brother?
It's good, man. Good to see you. It's been a while since I've been on here, so it's good to be back.
Yeah, man, it's good to have you back. Not on these terms, of course, because it was ugly. We got a little feedback, right? You got your speaker on? You got it like I think I don't know how you can if we could like turn because we're getting the feedback on me when I'm talking. We're hearing it. There we go. Now, all right. So last night was ugly, dude. It was ugly in Vancouver. They look kind of old and slow in Vancouver. And then last night, I mean, there was one play where one guy just bumped Messi, took the ball away, and it just kind of looked, it has what are they 2-4-2, I believe, in their last 8 games. What's going on, dude?
I mean, they're going back to their reality, right? They were getting some lucky breaks early on in terms of finding ways to win, despite maybe not deserving. There were games where they would get a goal and then grind it out with the defensive performance, which, look, there's nothing wrong with that, but they would get some lucky bounces, other teams missing clear-cut opportunities. They're also playing now, last night they were playing probably the best team in Major League Soccer right now, right? So the level of opposition is not the same as in the regular season where you're playing, a range of different level of teams. So, they're playing the upper echelon teams in the league. They're playing teams with more talent, and they're being found out, right? They're not ready yet for the step that they want to take. It's not the first time.
Wait a minute, bro. What do you mean they're better? Don't they have all the world-class players? Doesn't Miami have the best player in the world? I mean, what's going on, dude? I mean, they're spending a lot of money here. They had the best record in the league last year.
So there's a lot to dissect there, Big O. You could start with saying, look, and I've tweeted this last night. I mean, InterMiami's clearly on paper one of, if not the most talented team in Major League Soccer. And that's largely due to the main four, right? The Fantastic Four, as we like to dub them on the local beat. And that's Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, the Barcelona four. But it's as talented as they are, as technical as they are, as big of a difference makers as they can be, there's still only 4 players in a game that feels 11 on 11 with now 5 substitutions permitted on each side. And this is still a league that predominantly reigns supreme on the physical level. Like, technically, MLS is getting better every year, especially with the influx of Latin American players. The American player continues to grow and get better, but by and large, it's still a league that reigns on work rate, hustle, speed, size, physicality.
It's much more physical than most leagues. Yeah, that is true.
It's the American way, right? So that transcends, or that transcends the sport. That's just something cultural, and it filters into the beautiful game here in the United States. And InterMiami is not that, right? InterMiami is very Latin American. Maybe not the most physically imposing or the strongest or the fastest. It is a technical team. It's a very technical team, very talented team. But when it comes to the work rates, the efforts, the 50-50 battles, are you going to win those?
Nope.
As a team on enough occasions to really get by? I mean, the only way for InterMiami to really succeed with this current group, with how it's made up, is if Messi, Suarez, Jordi Alba, and Busquets are all having an A+ game, and then you win enough of those physical components, you win enough of those physical battles to make up. If you don't get them at their A+ game, and then you're only winning half of those battles or less than half of those battles, it's going to be tough, especially against the upper echelon teams, because the talent isn't enough, right? You need to have that energy. You need to have that work rate. There's the term dog gets used a lot now these days. But you do need to have that in Major League Soccer, and InterMiami doesn't have enough of that. I mean, you saw how Vancouver in transition would find the spaces and quickly hit them with just speed, right? There's dribbling. There's
the dude with the fro down the right side. He could outrun our guys like so easy, bro. I mean, just like I don't know his name, but the dude that had the fro that was just flowing in the air when he was running, like we couldn't hang with that guy. We don't have that kind of speed.
If you look at InterMiami's midfield, that's a big problem as well, right? Busquets is older. He's not going to be able to race back and put out a fire. Redondo next to him, not the most athletic. He's got some height on him, but he's not the fastest.
He's gritty. He's gritty. I will give him that. He's a gritty player.
Yeah, Yannick Bright is the defensive muscle there, but also not a guy who is the biggest, the strongest, the fastest. He's more of a reads the game and gets into tackles type of guy. So Inter Miami's not physically imposing. They're not physically the best. And again, this is a league that's still very, very predominantly based off of those physical qualities. If you're going to beat them by being technical, then you've got to have your technical players be on their A game. Inter Miami hasn't had that. Suarez hasn't scored in, I think, 9 games consecutively against all competitions. Messi in his last 4 games has, if I'm not mistaken, 0 goals and 0 assists. Yeah, that's the stat line for him in his last 4 games across all competitions. So the star players aren't playing well. The team in general is not functioning. Mascherano's kind of lost his way with the group, hasn't been able to find the right balance. I mean, he's a young head coach. He's a rookie head coach. But it all comes down to for me, it comes down to one thing, Big O. And I know that you retweeted this earlier today. I mean, this is Inter Miami, but this is Project Messi.
The country club,
right? And
that's country club. I think it's a novelty team, is what it is. It's for our Argentine community to go out and reminisce with the greatest player of all time in their lifetime, and obviously overall, if you want to say 1, 2, or 3 between him, Maradona, and Pele or whatever, it's kind of like a novelty thing, is what I'm seeing from these guys. Because when it comes to quality wins, bro, what you did against Atlanta last year is disgusting, and how you went out here on the CONCACAF is embarrassing. Moss is paying a lot of money, and he ain't getting his money's worth.
Well, he's not getting his money's worth on the sporting side. Maybe in the marketing side, on the jersey sales side, he's making his money as on the commercial side.
The drinks and all that shit. Yeah.
On the sporting side, though, you're right, and that's where I think some hard questions have to be asked. If the sporting side is actually important here, if it's not, then you can keep doing what you're doing. People will continue to turn out. Yesterday they were getting beat 3-1. They're practically eliminated, and some fans started chanting Messi in the stadium. So if it's just about commercial success, then they can keep doing what they're doing. If they want to actually compete and try to win something, then they have to really take a hard look in the mirror and start addressing some of these issues, because a lot of the issues for me go around the project being too focused on appeasing Messi and pleasing him and making him happy. Look, I get you have to make your star player happy so he's comfortable, especially if you want him to.
But it can't be a fantasy team, bro.
Correct.
It can't be a fantasy team.
There's a fine line there. And
okay, so I got a multi-level question for you, and you know way more than I do about this shit. Okay, now you had a different opinion about one of these parts. Maybe it's changed. Okay, so first of all, let's go on this. Over the last year, we have seen players be traded away from here. Players that actually were very supportive and you needed it. An example, Campana. I think you need Campana right now. You just said Suarez can't score with a fistful of dollars in a whorehouse. Messi can barely score. Campana was at least a guy that can do that for you and be in, maybe play off of Messi, open it up for Messi, open it up for Suarez, because you've got to worry about him. And other players that I'm not saying Gressel or whatever, but just overall, there have been several players that have been traded who were kind of foundationally guys that you needed around these guys. Has that been a mistake over the last year?
So I will say yes and no, and that's riding the fence. But look, I think with MLS and a lot of people, maybe I'll lump you in there. Maybe a lot of people don't understand the complexities of MLS. It's not like other soccer leagues where you can just add as much talent as you want and you have unlimited spending.
But would you be better right now with some of the pieces that you lost? Could they still handle some of those pieces?
So could you have kept Leo Campana while also needing to pay Jordi Alba more? Because this year he's a designated player. Last year he wasn't, right? So his cap hit goes up. It gets very complex. In MLS, you have to, at some point, do away with very good players because you just can't fit them all under the salary cap. It's just not possible. So while they're serviceable players, while they've proven something, if they're not out and out starters or even like lights out starters, then at some point you're going to have to make some tough decisions. I mean, we've seen that over the course of Inter Miami's
Okay,
brief history.
so
He
did
should
they
have
make the
probably worked with other
mistake?
teams.
So did they make the mistake of trading some of these foundational players around them instead of keeping the 4 stars together? Let one of the stars go that might have helped you pay for a bunch of these guys. My point is, are they a better team because of it a year later on all the guys that have left, or could you have managed it a lot better? That's question one.
Can it be managed better? Sure, it should have been managed better. But I mean, what without knowing the exact numbers, you can't. It's hard to say. Oh, Campana should have been kept, and Jordi Alba should go. I mean, that's very tough to say because Jordi Alba is part of the entire project, right? He's part of Messi's teammate, and again, it goes back to the.
But do you want to win or not?
So it goes back to the main point of this team has, there's a fine line between appeasing your star, your superstar, and overdoing it. And Inter Miami has clearly overdone it, right? The head coach is an unproven commodity who is Messi's former teammate on the international and club level, and who is his friend. The other 3 stars, the high-paid stars, are Messi's former teammates and friends. The guy who is running the show on the sporting side, who has not even been officially announced by the organization for whatever reason, but we know it's been reported, it's been out there, is Messi's footballing godfather. Messi referred to him as a footballing godfather earlier in his career. So it's all tailor-made for Messi. And is Messi the GM as good as Messi the player on the field? Probably not, right? Probably there should be someone who understands that Messi wants things a certain way, maybe gives into some of those desires or those wants, but doesn't give in to every demand, right? There should be someone that
you're not winning, bro. You're not winning. You're not winning anything significant here. And that's where, so part 2 of this multi-level question. Chris Henderson, was that a good move or is that a terrible move?
So it's easy to say now it's a terrible move.
Then part 3 of the question. Who's in second place in the West? Is Neville better because you weren't a fan of Neville? Is Neville a better coach than what you have here now?
No way. I mean, is he better than Mascherano? I mean, Mascherano's in his first year coaching at the club level. So, I mean, the jury's out on Mascherano, right? And right now, the things aren't looking too great for him. But there was already questions.
I know Neville's winning, and he's adjusted.
But if the initial move was Phil Neville or Tata Martino. And Tata Martino is light years ahead of Phil Neville. Now, Phil Neville better than Mascherano?
He lost to Atlanta in the first round. I don't know about that. Tata choked badly there. He didn't get the job done either, bro.
I mean, Phil Neville didn't even get into the playoffs.
He didn't have these guys.
Oh, but he had Gonzalo Higuain. He had Pizarro. I mean, he didn't have a terrible
Come on,
team
bro.
either.
Come on. You didn't say that with a serious face, right?
He didn't have a terrible team.
Okay, so wait a minute. These guys can't win with Messi, but you want them to win with the guy that smokes cigarettes on the field.
No. There's levels to this, Big O.
Come on.
There's levels to this.
Whether you like Neville or not, you have to admit he's become a better coach, and he's better than what you have here.
Let's see where the season ends for the Portland Timbers before making.
I'm just saying, if you make better decisions with your free agents, that you have gutted your team that around. If you kept Chris Henderson, you probably didn't give him the power. Listen to him. If you kept Neville, and instead of catering to Messi, would you be a much better, more rounded team right now? Is just a question. Because, dude, I worked there, and I know the overzealous and decisions that they make there on the whim. They do that there a lot. They change directions like this. And so I kind of think that, your owners have been very meddling in all of this and have created more problems for themselves. That's kind of the way I look at it.
But could you have kept a Chris Henderson if the plan from Messi and his entourage are, nope, we're bringing in someone that I'm more comfortable with, that sees that game this way and that has more connections in South America? Like, could you keep him? That's where the question lies, right?
Yeah, I just we lost you. You're gonna call. Lost you. Can't hear. Lost you. Can't hear. There we go. I think he figured out something. Now he'll hopefully come back from the call. But to me, there's a lot of mismanagement. and it's become just a country club atmosphere there. And that's why they don't win. And they've got, some of the greatest players that have played recently, and one that is considered the greatest player of all time. And they don't win anything, dude. But that was funny that Paniza wanted him to win with Higuain and what was that terrible Italian defender? French defender? Matuidi? Matuidi. Do we have him back? Okay. All right. You there? You got me? There we go. There we go. Well, we need to hear you. I don't hear you. Audio. Mute. You're muted. Audio. This is great stuff for you guys, right? Oh, okay. That's why. Okay. He's having some technical issues. Kate Winslet or Monica Lewinsky? What is wrong with you, Kosa? I mean, the good thing about Lewinsky is she is a human humidor. So there's a, double usage. Yes, sir. You there?
I'm back. My girlfriend decided to call me. As you can see, I'm in my car. So my girlfriend tried to call me. She probably thinks I'm with somebody else, but I'm only with the big O.
That is so. Explain to us, because I see changes and I know how they work over there, and I just kind of see that it's kind of like a fantasy team that's being run out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be changes made, right? That's going to have to be the takeaway from last night, right? There's got to be changes. They can't go. I can't imagine they go into this weekend and the next few games throwing out the same either tactics or lineups or personnel. Like, things are going to have to change, right? Clearly, it's not good enough. Clearly, they are not at the level they want to be at. So that means that there's going to be some hard conversations to have, right? Does Suarez continue to be the every game starter when he's clearly showing that he's lost a step, lost some confidence? Maybe that's something that has to be looked at a little bit more. Maybe the system has to be changed. I mean, I don't think Mascherano's going anywhere. I don't think, despite last night's disappointment and failure to lose to an MLS team in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, I think they're going to stick with him for a little bit longer at least. But definitely something has to change.
Franco, is there answers? I don't see answers. You're stuck with what you have. I don't think there's anything that's going to bail you out, any formation changes or anything like that.
So there's a transfer window that opens in June, and Inter Miami could sign somebody there. And I know that they've been linked with, and I know this firsthand from information I have, they've been very interested in Kevin De Bruyne, the Belgian midfielder. They've also been interested in Angel Di Maria, which Argentine national team player, former Argentine national team player, they're one of Messi's buddies, but he is very talented, more of a winger. So those are two players that they've been targeting. I mean, if you get one of them, you bolster the talent level even further.
But you got to dump one of the four, right? You got to dump Suarez then.
You could bring in one of those for a decent cap hit because it's mid-season. That doesn't make them a DP, at least for this season. So you don't have to necessarily dump one of the four. So if you get another player, yes, you have, even more talent. It doesn't guarantee anything because you still have to work and function as a team. But that could be something that helps bring some more optimism because, right, like you said right now, with what they have right now, there's not a lot of room for optimism that they can hit the ultimate goal of being a championship team.
You agree on how Calendar's been treated?
Yes. Listen, man, Calendar had a great year 2 years ago. Last season, he took a step back. This year, preseason, he gets hurt. Ustadi fits the mold better for what they want to do, which is build out of the back. Doesn't mean he's perfect. It doesn't mean he's Oliver Kahn.
He's the better goalie? So he's the better goalie for you?
I think Ustadi is the all-around better goalkeeper, yes. Now, again, doesn't mean he's Oliver Kahn in his prime, or he's not Tim Howard in his prime, or he's not any of these goalkeepers in their prime. He's not Gianluigi Buffon in his prime. But
is
he
he
better
Nick?
than Drake Callender?
Is he Nick Raimondo?
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's cut from
I'm
a
joking,
similar
bro.
cloth.
I'm joking. Nick Raimondo was a nice goalie.
He's just cut from the similar cloth. Technical, maybe not the tallest, but he can do the job. Can he do it better than Drake Callender? I think so. Don't forget that Ustadi had a fantastic save, big time save in the second leg, final minutes against LAFC. If he doesn't make that big save and it's a goal, Inter Miami loses on away goals in that series, and we don't even get to the conversation about Vancouver. So Ustadi's a solid goalkeeper. Is he better than Callender? My money, yes.
I'm not a fan of somebody just losing their job for no reason, because I thought he's played well overall. I don't think he
hasn't played well, though. He didn't play well. He didn't play well last year. He made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, but I think it's because he was trying too much because of the people in front of him weren't that good either.
No, see, it's always the defense's fault.
It's both.
It's too easy. It's too easy. Drake Callender was not good last year, and rightfully Inter Miami looked to make an upgrade. He's had a couple of games here and there. He's been dealing with injuries. I don't think he's long for Inter Miami. I don't necessarily think he's as great as a lot of people think he is. He's had his moments. He has potential, but he hasn't taken those steps forward to cut out the mistakes that he makes. He's not good with the ball at his feet, which modern day, especially with a team like Inter Miami, you need to be good with the ball at your feet. I don't think he's as good as what Inter Miami sold him as publicly a couple of years ago.
You think the greatest player of all time doesn't care about being known as one of the biggest choke artists in the history of South Florida sports? I'm just wondering. I never thought anybody would challenge Vinny Testaverde, but he's doing it with Atlanta last year and last night. And if they don't win the MLS Cup this year, I don't know what you brought him here for. Just to sell a bunch of tickets and a sports drink or something, because it's about substance. It's about real hardware.
To grow the sport and to help grow Inter Miami. That's the nonsense that they'll spew. But yes.
And you know what's the nonsense I'll respond with? Well, Pelé won like 6 NASL titles. I'm just saying. So, I'm just saying, all those international fans, well, the MLS sucks. And Serie A and the Premiership are so awesome. Well, if the MLS sucks, come on, dude, let's go. Give us a couple cups. Come on. If it sucks, let's go. Win it.
They do have to win. They do have to win a significant piece of trophy before he leaves for this to be considered a sporting success. Because, again, commercially, from a financial standpoint, it's probably a success. But commercially is not what Messi is being rated for. That's not what his career is about. His career is about the little round ball, the green rectangle, and the 2 goals on the field. So that's what we'll ultimately judge him on. They have to win something before he retires or before he leaves here for this to be a success.
All right, tell them about Miami Total Football so people can subscribe.
Yeah, Miami Total Football, the YouTube channel, the video podcast, covering all things Inter Miami. A lot more of this type of dialogue, dissecting the team's ins and outs. All the good stuff, the debates, the conversation, news, analysis, opinions, all of it. YouTube channel has all the interviews from every practice, from every game. So if you're looking to really sink your teeth into Inter Miami, this is the place to be. Tonight we will have a show 9:30 p.m. to go over last night's embarrassing elimination and to take stock of what's next for this team in more detail.
Franco will tell you how they figured out Messi and the boys. Tune in, Miami Total Football, and subscribe, support him, hit the like button every time you're there. He's a good dude and does a great job. Franco, as always, thank you, my brother. We will catch up down the line because I think this will continue to be a circus.
Very likely. Good to see you, Big O. Bye now.
All right, my brother. Be good. Franco Panizo, follow him on Twitter at Franco Panizo, especially if you're an Inter Miami fan. He brings it. He will actually tell you what's wrong. Okay? All right. Nothing's wrong here, man. Nothing's wrong here, baby. Bitcoin hanging around $97,000. Last week or Saturday, you guys gave away $50,000 of Bitcoin, and they're already in profit.
It's already a profit.
3,000.
Like 2 days. Took them 2-3 days to make
$3,000 went up.
Dude, this is like this. These people are going to get wealthy like Big O. You know what I mean?
I don't know about like me, but hey, we'll make a couple of dollars. We'll pay a couple bills is what we're going to end up doing. That's a good thing.
Big O, it's great to see you guys again, but it's this month, May 1st. Last day of the month, we're going to be giving away, going old school, gold bars. We're going gold bars, going old school. Yeah, we're we're doing the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. 24th and 31. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah.
I got confused. I was thinking about the June promo. We're only going once.
Yeah.
We're playing in June and July, and I forgot about that.
Yeah, he helps me with the info so we can pass it on.
Yes.
So
the 24th and 31st. So you got a shot at
2 shots at
two
gold.
shots at it. Yeah, 50
2
and 50.
shots at gold.
2 shots at gold. Think about that.
Yeah.
That should have been a tagline. Damn
Some
Where
people
were you like when
some
we were
people are
designing
talking
this?
Some people are talking about that and it hasn't been said but they're talking about it in social media circles and all that eventually we will sell some of our gold for Bitcoin.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, because we're loaded with gold. We have more gold than anybody else in the world. And so they could sell some of that for Bitcoin and it'll grow much faster.
So I gotta talk to you. I know this is old news.
Yeah, what is it?
And it's
Jalen
old-
Ramsey or something?
No. That's pretty old news too. But Shador, it's almost old news now.
Yeah, no, it's not.
But I want to throw my 2 cents in it.
Yeah.
You're a Shador guy. I was never a Shador monster. Okay. I have the perfect advice for Shador. He could make a lot of money. He should write a book. What not to do before the NFL draft. And it should be distributed to all college players that have a chance of getting drafted.
It's that yellow and black book, NFL interviews for dummies.
Yeah, that too. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? He
have
cost himself $44 million, give or take.
Yeah, easy.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like if
did you see Cam Newton? Cam Newton actually nailed it.
Well, Cam Newton should write the book of what to do when there's somebody around you doing what you shouldn't be doing. Because he, to his credit, I don't know.
Listen, he was a tough guy when he played, but he had a great line. He had a great line. He said Shador acted like a DB, not a QB. And he goes, you're a DB, you can be loud, you can be boisterous, but you're a QB, you're a CEO.
You got to be professional.
You've got to go pander to the owner, to the general manager, the head coach, the quarterback's coach, and the fans.
The fans, yeah.
He like named all six. He goes, you need to be, professional and presented for all those people on a consistent basis. You can't be acting all crazy because nobody ever sees the quarterback acting all crazy. If they do, then, I'm paraphrasing, but it's a video that's out there, I guess, from his show or something. And he's right. He acted like a DB, not a QB, and I thought that was an absolutely fantastic line.
That's a quick way to sum it all up. I will tell you though. And look,
you acted like a punk.
Yeah, he's a good player, but you have to put reality, right? So if you look at University of Colorado, they play in the Pac-12, right?
Yeah. No, this year they played in the Big 12.
Big 12. I'm sorry, Big 12. They played in the Big 12. They got schools like Idaho. They're another football powerhouse in the Big 12, right? They're playing. If you put University of Colorado in the Southeast Conference, they don't go 500.
No, I know, but he would also have Southeast Conference talent
around him. I get it.
Exactly.
Okay. That's a good point.
It all balances out. If you put him in Georgia, he can win a national championship.
Perhaps
Steve Walsh had a weaker arm than Shador Sanders.
That's called the Trent. That's called the Trent Dilfer syndrome.
And so did Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey and Steve Walsh had weaker arms than Shador Sanders, but they were loaded with talent around them. And then since they're smart and heady, but the difference is those guys are also mature, whereas this kid clearly lacks maturity.
Okay, but now you're in the Big 12. They win 9 games. You have to give them one. I'm going to give some credit to Dion and Shador. They go there, and the first year they're 4-8,
which is phenomenal.
Okay,
they won 1 game.
No, I get it. So
he won 4 times the amount of game, and 8 the second season.
9 and 4 the following.
Well,
year.
that's the bowl game, I think, or whatever. And I think it was 8. think it was 8.
I thought it was 9-4.
It was 9.
It was 9-4.
Did he win? Did they win 9? Well, that's even better.
That's right. I'm giving them credit there.
So they went from 4 to 9, bro. And that was a program that won one game.
That's a huge turnaround. That's called a turnaround. However, if you look at the 9 wins, 6 of them were against teams that were in the Big 12 with Big 12 players, like they had Big 12 players, and 6 of them had records under 500. Okay, so and that's at
Big 12 is not a great conference.
Exactly.
They don't play defense.
The one team that they played that was good it's the last game of the year, BYU, and they got killed.
Yeah,
they got killed. I mean, Shedeur is a great athlete. He's a good quarterback, but he was acting like he was the next coming of God.
Yeah, the only thing is that on that team, he had no offensive line. He got sacked 70 times in 2 years.
Yeah. Oh.
So
shame on that. Shame on the coaching staff there.
So you learned that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here.
So does Tua survive being sacked 70 times?
No, he's dead. But listen, no, I get it.
He won 8 games behind a terrible offensive line that he did not have a running back that he can count on or an offensive line. And by the way, all 3 of his receivers drafted.
Yeah, and I think that certainly Travis is.
No, all 3 receivers were drafted. I'm just saying.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
How many teams had 3 receivers drafted? Well, guess what? His 3 receivers, to me, there's a lot of we put too much weight of the world on the quarterback. And that's in that sense, I would never do that to the quarterback because the quarterback needs a lot of support. And for me, his problem was more about a lack of maturity. And he thought because he was his dad, he was his dad's son, that he was carrying around almost his dad's reputation. And I
hadn't played it down yet.
I think they slapped his ass down for a reality, and they just taught him a lesson. Like, yo, kid, we own the teams here, not you.
We were billionaires before your dad was born.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're not going to tell these people how to run their business. Yeah. And he went in there to tell them how to run their business, and they're like, bro, you're a punk that came out of why? Because you're Dion's son? Get the hell out of here.
It's even worse than that, Big O, because let's say I got this is my opinion. You got the Mara family, you got the Rooney family. These guys own, Pittsburgh Steelers and the Giants, right? You think that those owners want to wake up? They draft Shedeur. They want to wake up in September 20th after they lost the game they should have won and hear some tweet from Dion or Shedeur that says the front office sucks or the offensive line sucked. That's why I threw the interception.
Yeah. If they're afraid of that, then that's going to be
they
a
don't want
problem.
that crap. That's you know what it's not that they're afraid of it. They don't want that hassle.
Right.
They don't need that hassle. They got billions of dollars. Yeah. There's 300-400 football players every year that come around.
Right.
We'll pick the ones that we want.
That's exactly what happened.
And somehow Shedeur forgot he was interviewing for a job.
Right.
He wasn't asked to come in and tell me how to run my business. You're interviewing for a job.
Imagine some guy comes in and tells you, I want a job, but you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Steve, you guys don't know what you're doing. This is the way you're supposed to run a casino. And then, you're going to hire that guy? No.
It's unlikely. It's unlikely.
No, it's just, and I think that's
especially when he was average, where he was not average, but a little above average, where he was recently at.
Yeah.
Give him a little bit of average. Now, I hope for the best for Shedeur, but
that'll be very important now because he's been so humbled.
But he's
willing to now work from the bottom? Because that's exactly how they're going to treat him.
Listen, there's a chance, and I bet you this is a pretty high probability. I wish that it not happen. He may not make the team.
I think they will because they'll try to trade him. They'll hold on. They'll hold on because an injury, somebody might get.
Who's going to take him?
And by the way, if he behaves all throughout the offseason and in training camp and all that, I think they'll hang on to him.
If it's a huge word.
Well, no, he has to do it. Because being the circus, look where it got him. So what's he going to do now? Become more of a circus? Then they won't even let you in.
It's hard. It's hard to change your ways. He could do it. But I mean, look. I think they're not going to dump Deshaun. Cleveland's not going to dump Deshaun. Right? He's.
Oh, Deshaun, they will. I think next year, right? They have to hang on.
But
to him.
this year they got to hang on to him.
But he's hurt.
Yeah, but he'll be okay by camp.
No. He blew out his
not.
Achilles. He's done.
I didn't know that. So all right.
They bought themselves.
So then they got problems. So he has a shot then. then he has a shot.
He's going to make that
because
team.
he's got a, he's not.
They'll keep 3. They'll get rid of Deshaun and Pickett.
Pickett. They'll get rid of Pickett. Yeah, they'll probably get Pickett. Yeah.
Pickett has no trade value, so they'll let go of Pickett.
No,
they'll put the other guy. They'll put the other guy in the IR, and he's done for the year. And then you have Flacco, Shador, and who's the other?
Dylan Gabriel.
And Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel, who's a good quarterback, not great, but he's too short.
Yeah.
Right. Dylan. Yeah. So
that's what our guy is. Like people got him like, oh, Quinn Ewers might be starter, bro. He's not a starter. He's got a chance. He's got a chance to unseat Zach Wilson.
He does.
Because no matter what you think of Quinn Ewers, I don't think much of Zach Wilson.
Well, and Quinn.
And by the way, speak of immaturity.
Well, Quinn's an interesting guy.
Another immature guy that burned himself over and over.
You
know what I mean?
And
that's where Shador burned himself. It's not. I'm sure they figure he can play, but it wasn't worth the baggage.
But it's interesting with Ewers, right? Quinn, because Quinn is this guy got. I know he had a great cast around him. Texas was a great football program in the last couple of years, not 10 years ago, and not 5 years ago. Lately, they've been very good.
Yeah.
He's the quarterback, and he's almost not getting any real. Maybe he's lacking a little respect that he got to the college playoffs 2 years in a row.
Yeah,
and last year it was only 4 teams.
Yeah,
or 2 years ago. So,
and he does a pretty good Dr. Pepper commercial.
I didn't know that, but he's like. But it's all like these quarterback. I guess this is a crappy quarterback class. Like they're all like wait and sees. There's not like, oh my God, he's going to be.
But I think he has a chance to compete with Zach.
I think he does too.
I don't have much.
What do you think about Jackson Dart with the Giants?
He's got great talent. It's just a matter of refining it.
2 years, it could be something special.
Easily, it'll take a couple of years if he can refine it.
He's going to have some decent mentors.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not a big
fan
I don't
know about. I don't know about Jameis, because Jameis is.
Well, if you want to learn how to throw interceptions, he's your man. But Russell Wilson's a decent mentor.
No, Russell Wilson's a decent dude.
Decent mentor. I think Jameis will be decent in practice. He's not going to throw interceptions in practice as much as he throws in the game. But I mean,
but I don't know.
But
man.
think about that. The quarterback, Cam Ward, obviously went 1 and all, but classy guy off the field. I mean. Great.
Cam Ward, yeah. He's a worker, man.
He could do everything right, but it just was a relatively weak quarterback class.
Yeah. Even with Cam Ward, I'm still.
That's 50-50.
I'm still because he does some crazy shit,
and he has nobody around him. Tennessee doesn't.
But with the decisions he would make here at times, he cannot make those decisions in the NFL, and he looks to me like he has that in him, that he has that gunslinger thing in him.
Oh, just wing it and hope for the best.
He's going to take some chances, and in that league, he will get burned badly. So I actually think he will struggle a little bit in his transition, because I think Shador is actually a better passer than him overall, like passer, anticipatory, accuracy, all those kind of things. But Cam has sick ability. So that's what they took, because you can just refine that. And don't throw across your body here, kid. You cannot do that in this league. And you're not going to be sitting back there for 8 seconds.
Yeah, you got like a 2.5.
There were times
3
with
seconds
the Canes line where he was just back out there, just smoking a cigar, waving at people, ordering a drink, and it was.
We'll see.
I saw him one time eating some Flanagan wings.
Listen, Flanagan wings are good, but I just had what I think is better than Flanagan wings.
What's that?
Flanagan ribs.
Oh, yeah.
The ribs. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
The
meat falls off the bone. Baby back.
And then you get the extra sauce on it.
Yes,
wow.
yes.
I get them extra well done. I just had them.
And those rib things are also good, too. Those rib rolls. I love those. Have you ever tried those rib rolls?
Delicious.
Oh, they're good. Yeah, no, definitely.
At any rate.
I love the
I'm getting hungry.
The seafood gumbo there, too.
No, I never had that.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Seafood
and I'm a seafood guy.
At Flanagan's?
I eat all the food I see. I have one more thing before I leave. A little update on the Jersey fire.
Oh, yeah. Did they turn it off already?
I think they turned it off. Yeah, they shut it down. They turned it off. They didn't get as much news out of it that they liked, but it was messed up. It was really bad. I mean, it's done. It's all gone, but it's like 15,000 acres are like dust.
Massacred.
Yeah, like really bad, you know. No. See, you have to see this. I have to educate your viewers. In New Jersey, they were way ahead of the curve in saving the earth.
Okay.
See, they're going to save the earth. They have it all figured out. It's a very liberal state. You know, I'm from New Jersey. The state's very liberal.
Right.
I'm just saying that, right? I just want to be clear on that.
I got you.
But they saved the earth, right? So years ago, they carved out like millions of acres, and it's the Jersey Pinelands.
It's important,
and you cannot really build there. You got to have like 20 acres to build, and
it's important, bro.
Yeah,
The more concrete you have, the more floods you're gonna have.
So
dude.
so that's what caught on
and
fire.
Trees and bushes and all that, they absorb wind and everything.
So they're never going to build there. It's just going to look horrible.
Yeah,
but
the wrong thing we've done is look at
Miami and Fort Lauderdale's a shame.
Yeah, no, you go to Brickell.
Is there any grass?
It floods in a
Is there
second.
literally any grass left?
Look what's going on in in this place, Saudi Arabia. What's the name of that city, bro, that everybody wants to go to? Dubai. Did you see the flooding there? Like, they built so much
concrete.
It's all concrete. They didn't build a sewage system.
Oh, so they'll take them 50 years to fix that.
And then they live in the desert, which the desert doesn't drown. It doesn't
percolate.
You know, the
It's
water
called percolation.
sits.
It's percolation.
It sits. It doesn't siphon through, bro.
That's percolation going down, man. Percolation, man.
So that is crazy, and they have major flooding issues every time there's one of those massive rain clouds that come by. They have to. So they're trying to invest in that to see how they can figure out how to get water to flow out, because if not, they have 3-4 feet of water like that. Why? Because it's all concrete.
Yeah, and same thing in Miami. Miami,
Right.
It's like literally.
And we've learned that now, that the countries or areas that keep a lot of greenery.
Why do we keep building, like, you talk greed, money, making money.
Yeah,
it's all
that's
about
all it
money.
is.
Anyhow, it's all
All it
about
is.
money. We have some money here.
Oh,
we
what
have
do you
some
got?
money. We have some money in the poker.
What do you
room.
got?
Oh my God, the poker promotions for May. This is our most action-packed. It's like too much to talk about, but I got one that I want to talk about before I leave. It's a little bit weird. My poker marketing manager, Harold. We all love Harold. He's in Italy, I may add. He's a Raiders guy. He's a big Raiders guy, right?
Yes.
Genti's a good running back.
He wanted him.
Oh my God! I thought
He just kept telling us every week.
He's still on the cloud,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I told him, I don't think you guys are a running back away, but hey, that's all right.
But I want
That's
your
all right.
opinion on this one. This is a rough one.
It's entertaining.
I did okay it, but I'm a little bit weird on it. They lose, you win.
Oh, I love this.
They lose. Okay.
I love this.
So
Although I wouldn't have picked that team, but yes.
So when the Marlins lose, we raise the high hand to $1,000.
Oh, okay.
Right? So,
and that's going to do a lot of losing.
They have to lose at home, I think. It's every Friday. It's every Friday.
Plenty of losing is coming.
Yeah.
They had a couple wins early on, and then it's young guys. They'll put it all on film. Conine just went out for the year. They'll trade out Contra. It'll all fall apart. Though I got it's money in the bank. I got them losing 100 games.
You understand the bad beat thing, the whole
Yeah,
bad beat is getting beat, right? So this is like
and they're
bad
going to be
beat
beaten
with
badly
with your local team.
Yeah,
like basically every Friday, if the Marlins lose, we raise the high hand to 1,000. That's how confident we are. No.
Friday, baby.
So count on it. Most Fridays, come on out here so you can go for the big money.
That's a sad state of affairs. When the Marlins are, they're just.
That's who they are. They don't spend any money. They don't try.
Yeah, they don't even try.
The Dolphins don't get to win anything, but they try. They try like crazy. Okay, they don't get the right combinations.
They try.
They try, dude.
But they sometimes they try on the cheap.
Because Tyreek is not cheap and Jalen Ramsey's not cheap.
Tyreek was stepping out.
Yeah, and Jalen Ramsey was stepping out. You know what I mean? Calais Campbell was cheap because you got him, but he was a hell of an addition.
But he was a great for his age.
They gave him $8 million this year. $8 million.
But he's got one more year left. That's
yeah. 1-4 for Fridays.
So
Marlins 1-4 on Fridays.
80% of the time, you're going to have $1,000 high hand because of your favorite local baseball team. Is that just a beautiful thing?
It's awesome.
Give me a break.
Consistency is also, the Panthers have consistency as winning and being great. The Marlins consistently suck, and they love sucking. It's their thing.
I guess, they're comfortable with it. They've gotten used to it. But
right, their loss is your win.
That's it. Anyhow,
I like that.
I got to run because I got a million things going on here. But I don't know. Next week I'll decide who's on
first.
Who's from New Jersey? Who's from New Jersey? That's in the NFL draft. There's a couple of guys that they all have a New Jersey connection.
For sure.
Did I tell you? Did I mention I was from New Jersey?
No,
never.
No. Okay, but I should have mentioned that earlier. Then
never.
Anyhow,
and don't forget $100 no regret first bet. You use that QR code. Open up an account. Don't use if you have a Hard Rock account, don't use the same phone number or email, and you make a bet, you will get your first $100, baby, on us. So make sure you take advantage there. Thanks to our friends at Hialeah Park and the great Steve Calabro. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you. The great Steve Calabro. So get your $100 no regret first bet. Ray Sosa says calendar save Inter Miami many, many times last year. The game they won, the Supporter Shield, Drake had a lot of saves. I'm a Drake guy, and I don't like guys losing their jobs just because they got injured. And then a new guy comes in and he makes that decision, but whatever it is. RSL says MLS has improved to the point you can't win with an over-the-hill core of expensive big names. With Messi, you got to surround him with young athletes. Well, that's what it's looking like, my man. That's for sure. Nobody can argue what you said there, RSL, because that's exactly what has developed, my friend. You're just not going to, walk in there and take advantage of the MLS.
There's an update on one of your stories from yesterday.
Yeah, what do we got?
Tyrese Halliburton's father will not attend the Pacers' home or road games for the foreseeable future. After an altercation with Giannis, the decision was made by the Pacers front office.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, of course. Your father can't act like a mature adult. He has to act like a freaking punk. So, Mr. Halliburton, you should be, you should stay at home. You're an embarrassment, bro. You're pathetic. That's all. You're a disgrace to all fathers out there. Come on, man. Represent your son the right way. Be a decent human being. Take the high road. Don't act like some punk just because your son it's his moment, not yours, asshole. That's the other thing, Mr. Halliburton. It ain't your moment, dude. You're the idiot father or mother that goes crazy in your little league game thinking that your kid's all pro and all world. So how dare you call a strike on him or a fumble or a penalty or whatever, and you lose your crap. That's who Mr. Halliburton is. I don't even know what's his first name, but I don't really care. But yeah, dude, that guy is pathetic, man. That guy's a joke. And I hope Tyrese had some balls to check his dad, dude, and tell him, Dad, that's way out of line, man. Way out of line. Because if you condone any of that, that's despicable. Know your place. That's your kid's, that's your son's profession. He's the guy that's putting in the blood, sweat, and tears. You are there just to support, not to be an asshole to people around in that business, even if they're his opponents, because those are also human beings. So I'm glad that they're keeping his ass away from games. In fact, they should actually ban him from all NBA arenas. That's what they should do for life. Since he can't act like a real human being, like a man, he's got to act like a punk. So I'm all with the NBA on that one. I love that. I think that's a fantastic move on their part. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation too on the show. Let me get to a little music here, since we love talking about music, and we always give you the rundown on the day on what happened in the world of musica. All right, let's start off with birthdays today. Folks born on this date, May 1st. First of all, what's it called? Artists, musical artists born on this date. Let's see. Bernard Butler, guitarist with Suede, born in 1970. Stay together. Let's see what else. DRC Retsky Brown, bassist with the Smashing Pumpkins, born in 68. Tim McGraw, country singer and brother of Tug McGraw from the Philadelphia Phillies in the 1980 Phillies that won the World Series. Tim McGraw was born in 67. Johnny Colt, bassist with the Black Crowes, born in my year, 66. Phil Smith, saxophonist with Haircut 100. Love Plus One. Let's see who else. Steve Forrest from Mr. Mister. Take these broken wings and learn to fly again. Ray Parker Jr. Yeah, baby. Radio, solo. You know him as Mr. Ghostbusters. The only guy that with radio that they actually had a hit song that I would never imagine that you could create a Jack and Jill story into a hit song. Genius. So good. And the singing of it, oh my God, because radio had two singers. Parker and I forgot the other guy's name. Two different voices were leading radio. Let's see who else. Nick Fortune, bassist with the Buckinghams, born in 46. Rita Coolidge, born in 45, sung with Joe Cocker, Leon Russell, Bob Dylan, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton. She's kind of talented. Anybody who knows music knows who Rita Coolidge is. Judy Collins, born in 1939 on this date. That is musicians born on this date. Now let's go with other famous folk born on May 1st. Let's see. Actor Glenn Ford, born in 1916. TV personality Jack Paw, born in 1918. Filmmaker John Woo, born in 46. He is 79 today. Julie Benz, actress, 72. She is 53 today. Angel. Julie Benz was the blonde in Angel. I think she did a little bit of Buffy towards the end and then moved over to Angel, I think, if I'm correct. I think Julie Benz might have done a little bit of Angel and then, Buffy, and then rolled into Angel as a role for a couple years. Kind of cute. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays today. Gigi Bryant, Kobe Bryant's daughter, was born on this date back in 2006. Obviously, we lost her in that helicopter accident. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date, sir?
Yes, we do. AC Romero turns 35. The great Dave Taylor turns 68. Rossi Ogawa turned 68. Tiffy time. It's Tiffany Stratton is 26 today. And if you say his name, he will appear. The TNA heavyweight champion Joe Hendry turns 37 on May 1st, 2025.
All right. Let's move over to music history. What happened today on May 1st in music history? Well, in 75, the Rolling Stones announced their tour of the Americas by playing Brown Sugar on the back of a flatbed truck as it drove down Manhattan's Fifth Avenue, which, by the way, they no longer play Brown Sugar. Just like Pat Benatar will not play Hell is for Children. Elvis Costello will not play Oliver's Army because of certain, cultural references to it. Back in the day, we weren't nearly as sensitive and we could get away with it. Today, in today's ultra sensitive world, some people stop doing some songs because of certain words in it. In 76, Led Zeppelin started a 2-week run on the top of the album charts with their 7th record, Presence, their 5th to go number 1. In 93, supermodel Naomi Campbell announced her engagement to U2 bassist Adam Clayton. However, the couple would later break it off. Clayton and Naomi Campbell, kind of, I don't know, doesn't seem like it goes together. The only thing I love about Adam Clayton is that, many things besides being part of U2, and he's amazing. But Adam Clayton's favorite U2 song, from what I understand, is my song, Drowning Man. So they just never play it. Seen U2, I don't know, 30 times or something crazy. Never the Drowning Man. Never. Nothing. Nothing. No tour. Damn it. In 2005, Coldplay became the first British band to have a new entry in the top 10 singles charts. Since the Beatles were their single, Speed of Sound, it debuted at number 8. Their only second UK band to do it after the Beatles managed it with Hey Jude in 68. In 79, Elton John became the first pop star to perform in Israel. In 65, Herman's Hermits started a 3-week run at number 1 in the singles charts with Mrs. Brown, You've Got a Lovely Daughter. And in 84, Fleetwood Mac drummer Mick Fleetwood filed for bankruptcy. And that's what happened today in music history. There we go. What happened?
We have some tour news.
We got tour news? Yeah. Oh, he's partying somewhere else and they're mad?
No. He did a hot lap around the F1 track today, his second time. But for what it's worth, Chris Perkins sends out Tua looks like he's in excellent physical condition.
Okay.
Eat your heart out, Tua haters.
There you go. There you go.
Kind of worries me, though.
Why?
He's going to try to run through walls. He's in great condition.
Yeah, well, that's what he does. He plays to the death.
Leave it all on the field.
Leave it all out there. That's it.
Quinn
but he's
Ewers,
soft. But remember, he's soft.
Quinn Ewers, baby.
I love when people say he's soft. You want to say he's fragile, go ahead. Okay, yeah, his body doesn't hold up, but there's nothing soft about that guy. He's a freaking maniac. True Fin Fan says, as a father of a 10-year-old who is one of the best in his Little League division, I can't tell you I cringe at other parents swearing their kids are in the majors. Embarrassing. Yeah, I know. And that's kind of, I guess, what they produced with Shador. So now he's going to have to do it the hard way. And if he's made of, which I think he is, dude, you don't play behind that Colorado line the last 2 years if you're not a tough son of a bitch. Jesus Christ, I watched a lot of those games, and he took a beating. A beating. Okay? And they were loving hitting Dion's kid. They were loving it. So that kid got up every single time. Mad props to him, bro. Mad props. He's got some serious toughness to him. That is one thing I will not take away from him. We may think, some of us may think, oh, he's, entitled or anything like that. Maybe he might act to a certain extent that way, but on the field, he doesn't play entitled. He sacrifices. Yep. So, anyway. All right, we are out of here. We thank Franco Panizo. We thank, of course, the great Steve Calabro, the Brunetti family. Thank you, Mr. Brunetti, as always, for being great supporters of our platform and allowing us to grow and survive. We thank all of you out there that hit the hell out of the like button. Please hit the like button. All right, a bunch of you that came through did not hit the like button, so please hit the like button. Remember, you can support our show through Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. You can make a donation. Use the QR codes there. On Cash App and Venmo, it's Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show to make the donations as always, and we appreciate it. And, of course, visit our amazing sponsors like Subaru of Pembroke Pines, Moody Dental, Toyota of Hollywood, Sloman's Home Shield, Caneswear, Welton Rayom, Acura of Pembroke Pines, BigCheeseMiami.com. Tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you. Back tomorrow at 10 a.m. from the studio. Same time, same place, same bat channel.